Hi everybody and welcome back to my little YouTube channel. If you don't know, my name's Amanda. I'm a diagnosed autistic adult. I was diagnosed a few years ago and I'm 40 years old. And I'm hoping by making these little videos, it's going to help one of you guys out there who are watching this, hoping to get some autism support. You may already have autism, or you might be waiting for an autism diagnosis. And the waiting list for an autism diagnosis in the UK can sometimes be over 3 years, sometimes longer. I waited for over 3 years for a diagnosis. So just having somewhere to go to get a little bit of support in the meantime can just be essential for our mental health. So what is autism spectrum? Autism spectrum, otherwise known as ASD or Asperger's, is a neurodevelopmental disability. That means it's a genetic condition. We're born with autism and it carries throughout our entire lives. It affects everything in our existence, from the way we see things to the way we taste and interpret the world around us, the way we feel the world around us. It can affect communication and it can affect our interaction with other people. So it really can have substantial and sometimes debilitating effects on our lives. Autism is not just a childhood condition. It affects both children and adults. Don't forget, I'm an adult and I was once a child too. So one of the common myths and misconceptions is that autism is a childhood condition, and it's not. Obviously, a lot of children get more support as they're younger in comparison to autistic adults, and you can understand that because children are requiring the support as they're growing up because they're developing. But it means that a lot of adults along the way are sort of left to the sidelines, and that's where these videos might help. One sign of autism is a difficulty understanding and relating to our fellow human beings. That can really affect me badly. Things like social nuances, understanding when somebody's joking or when somebody's being sarcastic with me, I just don't get. Another sign and symptom of autism is making eye contact with people. Although a lot of autistic people will do it, myself included, a lot of the time it's a strained effort and it's a conscious effort to make eye contact with somebody, and it can make me feel incredibly anxious. Autistic people, myself included, we love routines and rituals. So our lives tend to be governed by plans. Sometimes we can make plans weeks, months, years in advance. I certainly do. And we don't really deal well with change. If something changes in my life, especially at the last minute, I'll tend to have a massive meltdown. And I'll either cry hysterically or I'll give somebody the silent treatment. A lot of us really hate social gatherings and large groups of people. So you can imagine going on shopping trips, especially during the Christmas period, can be particularly anxiety provoking for us as autistic people. And so a lot of us tend to prefer shopping online, for example, or avoiding Christmas parties. So you might know an autistic person that is constantly making excuses around the Christmas period. Usually we'll say things like, I'm not feeling very well, or I'm a bit tired. And the real reason is, we just have anxiety. Sometimes, although we might keep ourselves to ourselves, and we might stay away from group gatherings and Christmas parties, it can feel incredibly isolating to us. And we can often feel an intense loneliness inside. It's not that we don't want to get involved in groups, it's just that it's really difficult for us when we do. A lot of us as autistic people, we get triggered by certain sensory things that happen in our lives. That could be bright lights, loud sounds, especially this time of year with loud music. It could be the taste and textures of different types of food. And sometimes the world around us can just feel incredibly stressful. And that's why you've probably heard a lot of autistic people telling you that they feel like aliens on an alien-like planet. Sometimes we can feel like that little piece of a jigsaw that just doesn't quite fit when everybody around us is neurotypical, and it feels like we just don't fit in. Autistic people can find it really, really difficult to understand other people and understand how other people are thinking and feeling. That can be incredibly challenging because you might be upset and you might start crying, and sometimes we might misread that emotion and we might start laughing because we think you're happy, and it can get us into trouble. Autistic people can sometimes come across incredibly straight talking, and it might seem to you like we're being rude, and it's not. It's just that we're very literal thinkers, and as a result we tend to give back very literal responses. And so the next time you ask me a question and I give you an answer that you're not happy with, just remember, it's not because I don't like you, it's because I'm autistic. Autistic people can also have incredibly specific interests, something that's known as in the autistic community as special interests. And that can range from the more common, like bird feeding, to the more bizarre, like different types of bark on a tree, or different types of train tracks, for example. It's different for everybody. Sometimes we can have lots of different special interests all at the same time, or sometimes we can just have one or two. And our special interests can change over time. It doesn't just have to be one thing. Sometimes our special interest can be positive, so we can go in a career pathway that can involve our special interests. Sometimes they can get us into trouble. That's happened to me in the past. But special interests are really important for our quality of life. A lot of autistic people, myself included, we tend to have repetitive behaviours, something that's known as stimming in the autism community. This could be all sorts of things. Mine's twirling my hair, but stimming is different for every autistic person, and it's something that's really fundamental for our health and well-being. Autistic people, during social situations, or for example when somebody's at school, college or work, especially autistic women, can do something called autistic masking. It's otherwise known as camouflaging. Imagine if I wore a camouflaged outfit now and painted my face. I might blend into my surroundings, and that is the aim of autistic masking. What we want to do, what we're trying to do, is to come across as neurotypical as possible, so that we can fit in with all our friends and social groups around us, and hopefully we can get promoted and get boyfriends and girlfriends and partners and just be a neurotypical person on an alien planet. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little video and this little vlog, and hopefully it's helped you to better understand some of the signs and symptoms of autism. And if it has, talk to somebody, talk to your friends, talk to your family, go to your GP and just discuss with them how you're feeling. And your GP can get the ball rolling and get you referred on to a neurodevelopmental centre for an assessment. And just remember that you're never ever on your own. And hopefully by watching these videos, we can be friends. Don't forget to hit like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you next time for my next vlog. Bye.